And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We have another day that feels like July as we do some more Kahok softball for you as Collinsville gets ready to take on Belleville East to open up Southwestern Conference play. Joining us once again, second-year Kahok softball head coach Amy Flowers. All right, Coach, give us an update on the drive to help out Lily Parlberg and her family recover from a loss of pretty much everything in the house fire that they suffered a couple weeks ago. Where are we standing?
Actually, a really good standing. They have a bowling event this Sunday at Camelot Bowl, which Camelot has been awesome and helping us out too. All the moms, the parents, and all that from softball, baseball, both basketball teams have kind of gotten together, and they've got together a bunch of raffle baskets and that to raffle off. And the booze barrel is already up to over $1,000. So they're really kicking butt at that.
And the T-shirt sale, is that still going on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is. All Pro Tees has that T-shirt store open, and I've put a link out on our Facebook page if anybody wants to go and buy one.
All right, let's talk about some softball stuff. Team went through a bit of a rough stretch recently, 5 straight losses. Showed signs of heating up the bats at the end of the tough game against Civic Memorial 3 days ago to keep that one close for a while. 6 runs through the first 3 innings before things kind of went sideways in that game.
Yeah, we got a lot of really young girls, obviously. We starting a lot of freshmen, and I think, the bats, I think, are going to be the last thing that are going to come along. But the resilience of these girls to continue to work. A bunch of them came in on Sunday night, just out to the field, just hit on their own, and the the motivation, and that has really like shown out this week. We've seen a vast improvement just this week alone with the bats, with the fielding. It's been great.
Yeah, that was very evident yesterday. Nice win. A 6-run outburst in the second inning before winning it there at the end. So the bats started heating up yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. And got a nice walk-off winner off Aubrey Bordoni. Hit a nice big triple for us at the end there, and drove in McKenna Trice. And it was a welcome sight to see as the girls all smiling and happy and getting a win. It felt good.
Yeah, how awesome are walk-off wins?
Oh, they're the best. They're the best. Although you don't ever want to be in that situation, but it's nice when it happens.
All right, you talked about the freshman. We're going to talk about it a little bit as well. Your top hitter is a freshman. One of the top 3 RBI leaders on your team is a freshman. 3 triples of the year. All 3 of them have come from different freshmen. All 3 pitchers used this year are all freshmen, and they've all combined for 55 strikeouts, averaging about 6.8 per game. So, freshmen aside, these girls, they know what they're doing a little bit.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, they came in, they all play club ball and that, and so they come in with a lot of experience. I think just as we adjust to varsity pitching and varsity, hitters and that, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
All right, well, I'd like to have one of those surprises today if you can arrange that. That would be really cool because you guys are playing Belleville East today, perennial Southwestern Conference powerhouse. Always a tough out, and the thing about Belleville East is they don't beat themselves, so you have to almost go out there and play grade A softball without any mistakes whatsoever in order to beat these guys.
Yeah, Belleville East, they're always tough. That is exactly right. They never beat themselves. They're real good at small ball. They're taking extra bases. They're doing all those things. So we just got to play tonight. We got to play awake. We got to play clean, and we can't hurt ourselves.
And you guys, unfortunately, have a lot of errors to go along with this freshman team and the freshmen that are on this team. Not saying that they're all responsible for it, but is it a question of just going too fast, too soon?
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them about. I think their clock in their head is going a little faster than what is in reality. So we're rushing a few things. I think that's leading to a few errors.
All right, what do you want to see out of your team today?
Just play clean, and like you said, just let's not hurt ourselves today. We want to, just not compound mistakes. That's kind of been our bugaboo in some of these losses. But, in the last couple games, we've kind of cut that down a little bit. So.
All right, good luck out there today. Stay cool.
All right, thanks. I'll try.
Amy Flowers, your second-year head coach for your Collinsville Kahok softball team. We'll take a break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw both starting lineups at you and some stats, all that and more, coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Stan Schaefer Field here at the Collinsville Sports Complex. Apparently we got knocked off the air right when I was in the middle of my interview with Amy Flowers, but we're back up and running now, and let's hope we stay that way. I have been working real hard trying to figure out stuff with Chat GPT helping me out and trying to figure out settings and things that I need to shut off on the laptop and the settings in the platform that I use and all that, and I'm at wit's end right now, but hopefully we will stay on for the rest of this game. I am hopeful in that endeavor. All right, here we go. Collinsville versus Belleville East, Southwestern Conference opener. Here are your starting lineups. We'll try to get through them all anyway. If not, we'll do Collinsville's when they come up to the plate, but batting first is going to be Belleville East. They'll lead off with their pitcher, Abby Monroe, followed in the number 2 spot by Sabrina Baloney. She'll bat second and play third. Zoe Peters is batting third and playing at the catcher position. Batting in the cleanup spot is their shortstop, Addie Kromkowski. Designated player is Jalen Robinson, batting in the 5-hole. Batting sixth is Ashlyn Willis. She'll be playing left field. Malaya Brewer is batting seventh and playing first base. Riley Oshab playing right field and batting eighth. And Amy Kohler is playing in center field and batting ninth. And the designated player, Jalen Robinson, batting for the second baseman, Ella Murphy. For Collinsville on the defensive side of things, from left to right in the outfield, Audrey Lauenstein over in left field, Ava Muniz in center field, Jazz Gomez is in right field. Around the horn, Lily Parlberg at third base, Faith Fairchild at shortstop, Presley Thomas is at second base, Peyton Smith at first base, Aubrey Bordoni in the pitcher's circle, and she will be pitching to McKenna Trice. And the numbers on Bordoni, this is her 8th appearance already this year, her 5th start. She has 1 complete game. She's 2-3 on the year, 24 2/3 of an inning pitched. She's given up 41 runs. Only 16 of those are earned, a 4.60 earned run average, and Miss Bordoni has 40 strikeouts to go along with 23 walks. All the warm-up pitchers are taken. Collinsville in the outfield, of course, first, as they are the home team. They got the little lavender purple jerseys on with numbers in white in the fronts and the backs, and in cursive the word Kahawks written across the front in the traditional purple. Belleville East, they are the road team, and they are here in their all navy blue uniforms. Got a little sky blue in the socks and along the shoulder areas. Their numbers on the fronts of their jerseys are in white, trimmed in a little bit of blue. And here's the first pitch, and it goes outside. And we are underway. They have Belleville East across the fronts of their jerseys, and on the back over the shoulders is the word Lancers. So we are underway. 1-0 the count to Abby Monroe. Monroe is the leading batter right now, batting .500. Actually, her and Zoe Peters are both batting .500 on the year. 9 runs batted in for both of them, and 1 home run for Monroe. She has 2 triples, 5 doubles to go along with her 16 hits on the year. Next pitch is in there for a strike, and we have a 1-1 count as Bordoni pitches again. This one's a little outside, and that'll run the count to 2-1. Very hot day, 92 degrees at game time. First pitch was about 5 minutes past the scheduled 4:30 start time, but nevertheless pretty much on time. And a swing and a chance for Presley Thomas, and it goes right underneath her glove and into the outfield. And we have our first base runner today on a hit by Abby Monroe.
Next up for the Lancers, third baseman.
Wind is gusty today, too. It is blowing out almost straight away center field with a little bit of a tilt toward right field, and sustained winds about 12 to 15 miles per hour, but gusting to around 20 to 23 miles per hour. So anyone gets up a ball up in that jet stream, and it might travel a long way. There was a bunt attempt, and that one ends up going foul. 0-1. Monroe down at first base has 1 stolen base on the year. Belleville East comes in with 25 stolen bases, and in the caught category, it's all 0, so I'm not sure if they're keeping track of that or if indeed they are 25 for 25. Bordoni ready to go with the 0-1. Here it is. That one stays out a little high for Sabrina Bologna. Bologna is batting .292 on the year. She has 5 runs batted in, and of her 7 hits, 1 of them is a double. 1-1 the count. Here is Bordoni's pitch, and that one's inside. Gets away from Trice, and she thought about throwing it down there, but that's going to end up giving a base to Monroe, and it's going to be on a passed ball. And we have a runner at second base and nobody down. You do not want to give these Lady Lancers any kind of extra outs. That one's on the outside corner for a called strike. That evens the count at 2-2. They are playing at a regular depth in the outfield and the infield as well, since they have a base open now. No traditional double play setup. Here's a pop-up on the infield. Bordoni calls for it right in front of the circle, and she makes it for out number 1.
Next up, catcher number 9, Zoe Peters.
Here is Zoe Peters. We talked about her briefly in the opening with Abby Monroe coming up. Her and Peters, Monroe, both batting .500. Both have 9 runs batted in, but Peters does not have a home run or any triple. She does have 5 doubles along her 14 base hits, and she swings and misses through the first offering from Bordoni. Addie Kromkowski waits on deck, and barring a non-traditional double play, she'll get a chance to bat here in this inning. Bordoni ready with the next offering. Here it comes, and it's a little high, and the throw back gets away from Bordoni for a minute. I thought that Trice was maybe thinking about trying to throw down to second base, but changed her mind at the last second. That ball ended up going into the dirt. 1-1 to count to Zoe Peters, the catcher for Belleville East. Here's the next pitch. That one's outside. Does not hit the corner, though. 2-1 the count. Runner second, 1 out. Abby Monroe, base hit. Got the second on a passed ball. Bolani popped up to Bordoni right in front of the pitcher circle. And here is the next to Peters. That goes back to the screen, and that is going to allow Monroe to go down to third base. So we've had a wild pitch and a passed ball here in this inning. I thought I clicked second base, but I guess I didn't. So Now I clicked third base, so there you go. 3-1 the count to Zoe Peters. Bordoni's next pitch. Swing and a miss. Right down the middle on that offering from Bordoni. Bordoni looks at her wristband, has the sign she wants, full count. And here is the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. That'll keep Peters alive up at the plate. Windy and warm. Of course, we're in that stretch of weather where it's March and you never know what you're going to get. Last week we had a day when we had short sleeves and then the next day sweatshirts. That's going to be the case tomorrow as well. Swinging a foul back here. We're all wearing short sleeves today. Tomorrow we'll be back to sweatshirts, hoodies, and coats. Morning temperatures are supposed to dip down into the maybe the upper 30s. Daytime highs are going to struggle to reach the lower 50s. It's been a roller coaster ride in the weather department. Just not a lot of rain so far this year, which is unlike the case last year when we lost a lot of baseball and softball games due to rain last year. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Peters. That was a nice job battling back from a 3-1 count to the number 3 hitter for Belleville East. Bordoni has her first strikeout. 2 outs in the inning, and that'll leave things up to Addie Kromkowski. Kromkowski on the year batting .357, 7 runs batted in, 4 doubles to go along with her rest of her base hits, and she gets hit by a pitch. So we've almost had everything in this inning you possibly could have. We've had a hit batter, a pass ball, a wild pitch. The only thing we haven't had I'm not going to mention because I don't want it. Runners on the corners and 2 away, and here comes Jalen Robinson, the designated player. Robinson on the year batting .250 with 4 runs batted in and a double to her credit. That one is in there, and I guess he called it a ball, and a snap throw down to third base. Almost caught Monroe napping down there, but on the throw, Kramkowski goes down to second base. So runners in scoring position for Jalen Robinson. And the 1-0 in the dirt. Nice stop by Trice. Addie Munoz is playing deep in center field. That wind blowing, I don't blame anyone for playing deep out there. Here's the 2-0. Stays high, pops out of the glove, and on her way home and scoring is going to be Abby Monroe. So another passed ball. 2 passed balls in this inning. And the Lancers go up 1-0. On the count now 3-0 against Jalen Robinson. Two away, just need to get one more and get out of this inning. Here's the pitch, and that one is outside, ball 4. Walked her on 4 straight.
Next up, left fielder, number 23, Ashlyn Willis.
So once again, runners are at the quarters. Here comes Ashlyn Willis, the left fielder. Willis batting .333 on the year with 5 runs batted in, 1 double amongst her 6 base hits. And the pitch from Bordoni in there. Runner goes, throw down to third base. And a catcher's indifference, I guess we'll call that. But that moves 2 runners back into scoring position. 2 away, 1-0 the count to Willis. The pitch from Bordoni on the way, swinging a foul ball back to the screen. And that'll even things out at 1-1. The only problem with a windy day is dust, man. Dust flying around all over the place. I wiped off the counter when I got here, and it's already dusty once again. 1-1 pitch from Bordoni on the way. That one is a little bit low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. I'm all by myself today. I have a girls soccer match at Collinsville High School today against Alton. That's a 6 o'clock start. Zach Roseman is doing that game, and of course any home game at Kahok Stadium is a Chris Kettler job. There's a nice play over at second base on a little fast one-hopper by Presley Thomas, who threw one low, but Peyton Smith dug it out, and that becomes the third out. So 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of base runners left on. We will now head to the bottom half of the first inning. Collinsville will get their first at bat, and we will tell you all about it when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Once again, we welcome you back here to the Collinsville Sports Complex. Here is Collinsville's lineup as they have their first at bat. They'll lead things off with Faith Fairchild at shortstop, batting second. Presley Thomas playing second. McKenna Trice doing the catching, batting third. Lily Parlberg will be batting in the cleanup spot today. And playing third base, batting fourth, is our pitcher, Aubrey Bordoni. Batting in the number 6 spot is Ava Muniz, holding down the duties in center field as the first pitch is up high. Andre Lauenstein batting 7th, playing left field. Peyton Smith playing first base and batting 8th. And batting 9th is the designated player, Ali Viloff, and she will be batting for Jazz Gomez out in right field. There's a little pop fly. That one's going to get over everyone's head, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. And Faith Fairchild gets Collinsville their first hit in the first at bat. Collinsville is facing Abby Monroe on the mound, her 5th start. She has 4 complete games already. She is the 1-3, though. 33 innings pitched. She's given up 12 runs. 8 of those earns. Has a pretty good ERA of 1.70, and Monroe has struck out 15 while walking 8. Presley Thomas will step up to the plate as the second best batter on the team. She squared around the bunt, took the bunt back, and ball stayed high for ball number 1. 292 is Presley Thomas's batting average. Has a double mixed in with her 7 other hits. No RBIs yet on the year. Fairchild, by the way, came in batting 136. So she had 1 double and 2 base hits so far in the year. So nice to see her lead off this game with a base hit. But she does have 4 RBIs. That's tied for tops on the team. 2-0 the count now to Presley Thomas. And the next pitch in there for a called strike. Faith Fairchild on over at first base. Fairchild on the year has stolen 3 bases, been caught once. 2-1 the count to Presley Thomas, and here's the pitch from Monroe. She bunts it back to the screen. That'll even things out at 2-2. So if she wants to try a bunt again, it's one of those things where it needs to go fair, because if you bunt foul on the 3rd strike, you are out. I'll set the defense for Belleville East here. After this next pitch, the 2-2 pitch from Abby Monroe is on the way. Stays up high, snap throw down to first. Fairchild is back in there. From left to right in the outfield, Ashlyn Willis is in left field. Amy Kohler in center. Riley Oshab is in right field. Sabrina Bolani is at third base. Addie Kromkowski at shortstop. Ella Murphy at second base. Malaya Brewer at first, and Monroe is pitching to Zoe Peters, and that ball is fouled out of play. And that'll keep the count at 3-2. Collinsville giving up a run in the top of the first, trying to get one back here. Runner on first, no one out. 3-2 pitch on the way, and that one stays high. It's a walk. And the first 2 have reached here for Collinsville.
Next up, catcher number 10, McKenna Trice.
I'll bring up McKenna Trice. Trice, she is the leader in the hitting department for Collinsville, batting a robust .444. She has 8 hits, all of them singles, and 18 at-bats. Still looking for her first extra base hit now, so this would be a good time for it. First pitch from Monroe on the way. Swinging a chopper right back over to the mound. Throw over third base is an errant throw. Everybody's going to be safe as Collinsville has the bases loaded here on an error by the pitcher. She had plenty of time to throw over to Bolani at third base and just threw it into the ground. So bases loaded for Collinsville's cleanup hitter, and that is Lily Parlberg. Parlberg on the year, batting .250, couple of home runs batted in. Still looking for her first extra base hit as well. Here's the pitch from Monroe, right down the middle for a called strike. Trice on over at first, Thomas on at second, Fairchild over at third. Nobody out. Collinsville with an opportunity here in the first inning. Pitch by Monroe on the way. Strike two called. Parlberg looks down at Amy Flowers, who is the head coach and coaches in the third base box. Brandon Hinson over in the first base coach's box. That one goes outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Lily Parlberg, the third baseman for Collinsville. Playing very shallow out in center is Amy Kohler. Like to see Parlberg get a hold of one and send it over her head. That one just missed outside. 2-2 now the count. Parlberg digs back in from the right side. Aubrey Bordoni waiting on deck, but right now it's all up to Lily. Monroe, she's ready. Here's the pitch. And a little foul tip will keep Parlberg up at the plate. JV Tim is playing over at the other field, right over to the right of this location. Monroe ready with the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Parlberg for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Next up, pitcher number 14, Aubrey Bordoni.
There's Aubrey Bordoni coming to the plate for the first time. Bordoni batting .167 on the year. She has 1 RBI, a triple. Got that one in last night's win. A walk-off winner. And that's where she picked up her first RBI of the year. Bases still loaded. 1 away. Pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Kahawks need something here. I'll take a wild pitch or a passed ball or an error or whatever. Base hit would be nice. Of course, the extra base hit would be extra nice. She offered it that one, went around, called strike. So Bordoni, like Parlberg, in an 0-2 hole. Monroe ready with the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Bordoni. Back-to-back strikeouts
Next up, center fielder, number
by the
12,
Belleville East pitcher, Abby Monroe. So it is going to be up to Ava Muniz. Muniz, the center fielder, comes in batting .235. Has the only home run so far for Collinsville this year. And the lefty has 3 runs batted in, plus a triple and a double to go along with that home run. And the first pitch, swinging a little slow roller down the first base line. Backhanded, not going to be in time. And Collinsville will score the tying run on an infield base hit
left fielder, number
by Ava
13,
Muniz.
Lowenstein.
And we are tied. Bases still loaded. And here is Audrey Lowenstein. Audrey on the year. Comes in batting .214. 2 runs batted in. Pitch, swinging a foul ball. I think that went off the catcher's head. Thankfully, she has on a helmet. So now Thomas is on over at third. Trice is on over at second. And Muniz on at first. 2 away. 1-1 game. Monroe ready to pitch to Lowenstein. Swing and a miss. I think that was a foul ball as well, or else everybody would have been off and running. So 0-2 now to Audrey Lowenstein. And Parlberg 0-2 start. Bordoni 0-2 start. Now Lowenstein gets an 0-2 start. And a pitch held up. Umpire shakes his head no, says she did not go around. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the Kahok freshman left fielder Audrey Lowenstein. Lowenstein had a key sacrifice bunt last night to put Trice in scoring position, and she got to come home on that Bordoni triple, but I would imagine she probably would have came home even if she would have been left at first base. But I'm glad that the sacrifice worked. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Lowenstein. So Monroe strikes out the side, but Collinsville does get a run on 2 base hits. There was 1 error committed in the inning, and Collinsville left 3 on base. We will head now to the top of the second inning, and we are knotted at 1 apiece.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Stan Schaefer Field. Took a little while as McKenna Trice was out running on the base paths when that inning ended, so they had to give her a little extra time to go back in and put on what they call in the business the tools of ignorance. That would be the catching gear. Bottom 3 in the order for the Lady Lancers. It'll be Malaya Brewer, Riley Oshab, and Amy Kohler. The 7, 8, and 9 batters here in the top of the second inning. 1-1, each team scoring 1 in the first. Bordoni back out in the pitcher circle. Brings the first one home. Floats one up high, ball 1. Lady Kahok soccer team at home tonight in a varsity-only game that starts at 6 o'clock against Alton. Baseball team, they're in Memphis today. They have three straight games in Memphis, Tennessee. That is the site of yours truly's marriage. Almost 20 years ago. It'll be 20 years this October. Oh, off of the glove of Bordoni. Goes over to Fairchild. Throw in time to first base. They're going to score that one 1-6-3. And that was a hard hit ball. Any softer than that, and I don't think that Fairchild would have had a chance to make a play over at shortstop, but because it was hit so sharply, it had a chance to bounce off of Bordoni's glove to Fairchild. Fairchild with a strike throw over to first base, Peyton Smith, and there is one away. Whoop. That will bring up Riley Oshab. And the first pitch to her is just a little high. Oshab batting .421 on the year with 8 base hits, nothing more than that. No doubles, triples, or home runs. Forgot to give you the numbers on Brewer. She was batting .333 with 4 runs batted in, also all singles. But she has been erased, 1 away. And here's the next pitch to Oshab, and that one stays a little high, 2-0. So no Chris Keller here today. That means somebody else has to take the little remote control to operate the scoreboard. Somebody finally came up and got that thing right when the game was getting ready to start. Next pitch by Bordoni. That one's in there for a strike. Amy Kohler, the number 9 batter in the order for the Lancers, on deck. And the pitch inside. Said it didn't hit her. 3-1 though the count. Collinsville, by the way, looking for their first win against Belleville East since 2019. Collinsville actually won both home and away games from the Lancers that year. Next pitch, that one stays high, well high, and down to first base goes Oshab on the second walk of the game, issued by Bordoni. And here is Amy Kohler. Kohler on the year batting .292 with 8 runs batted in. Collinsville has not fared that well against Belleville East in the world of softball. Belleville East holds a 73-9 record lifetime against Collinsville. That one's outside. Runner goes. Throw is high, and if it would have been low, might have had a chance. But that one sailed out of the hand of McKenna Trice, and Faith Fairchild almost had to leave her feet to go grab that one. Well, that puts a runner in scoring position with 1 down for lefty Amy Kohler. Collinsville started softball in 1987. Belleville East had a 9-year head start on them, as the Lancers started their program in 1979. First meeting was the 5th ever softball game played by Collinsville. Belleville East won 8-6. Also lost to the Lancers 5-0 later in that first season. Understandable. I mean, these girls, they had 9 years of experience, or not that team, but the program had 9 years of experience to build off of, and Collinsville was just getting started. 2-0 the count to Kohler, and she takes one inside, 3-0. Collinsville, they went 12-8 in their second year, but still lost both the home and away games that year to Belleville East, 10-0 and 5-0. Bordoni ready with a 3-0 pitch. That one's in there for a strike. Collinsville picked up their first win over Belleville East in 1991, so 4 years after they got started, a 10-6 win. Midway through the season, lost 4-0 later that year to Belleville East. Next win by Collinsville against the Lancers wouldn't come until 1997, so they went 6 years in between as Bordoni takes care of a bunt, but by the time she got there and twirled and threw, Kohler was already well past the first base bag, so a infield bunt hit. And back to the top of the order in Abby Monroe, as Oshab went down to third base on the play. I'm getting bombarded up here by wasps. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Monroe singled and scored her first time up. Throw down to second base is cut off by the second baseman, Presley Thomas. And that in itself probably kept Oshab at third base. First true stolen base on the afternoon by Belleville East. And the next pitch into Monroe stays a little high, 2-0. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Monroe. Monroe singled, went to second on a pass ball, went to third on a wild pitch, and came home on a pass ball. Next misses also, and now it's 3-0 against Abby Monroe. Bordoni ready. Swinging a shot over into Lauenstein land. Nice backhand stop on one bounce, but that's going to score both runners. And Belleville East is going to take a 3-1 lead off of a 2 RBI base hit by Abby Monroe. She took second base on the throw, so still just a single. And with only 1 out, runner at second base for Sabrina Volani. The third baseman popped up to Bordoni on the infield. In her first at bat, timeout called. All of the infielders and the pitcher and catcher meet in the circle. And that allows Volani to go down and talk things over with head coach Natalie Peters. Onstein did a great job. She ranged over to her left, stuck her glove down, and that ball one-hopped right into it. both runs scored anyway, but if it wouldn't have and it would have rolled all the way to the fence, I would imagine that Abby Monroe would have came all the way around to score. One away, runner at second. Here's the pitch to Balani, and that one is fouled down the third baseline. Zoe Peters waits on deck. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Happy opening day, everyone. St. Louis Cardinals opening up their 2026 season today. J.J. Weatherholt had a solo home run in the third inning. But right now, we're in the sixth over at Busch Stadium, and it is a 2-1 lead by Tampa Bay as that ball bounces off the glove of Trice.
Next up, catcher number 9, Zoe Peters.
That was ball 4. Oh, made the wrong girl score there. So Monroe is on over at third. Still only one away. And up is Zoe Peters, the catcher, a strikeout victim her first time up. Looks at one high after the first one was a strike, so 1-1 the count to Zoe Peters. Bordoni ready with the next delivery. Here it is, swinging a foul pop-up, but not high enough or far enough for anyone to get to it. That'll put the count at 1-2 strikes to Zoe Peters. 1-2 strikes the count. Oh, there's not a runner on first. Oh, there's 2 outs. Never mind. That one's foul right behind Natalie Peters.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
So, strikeout. Never mind. I thought she walked. 2 strikeouts for Bordoni. I was obviously looking down at my list of history between these two programs and wasn't paying attention at the right time. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners home here in this inning. Makes it 3-1 in favor of Belleville East, runner on third. And the next to Peters popped it up. That one's heading into foul territory, and no one can catch up to it. Presley Thomas gave it a good run. Jazz Gomez coming in from right field. Both of them got there probably about 5 steps after that ball dropped. Just a long strike. Bordoni ready with another 2-2 delivery, and here it comes. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Zoe Peters for the second time. Back-to-back strikeouts by Bordoni, but 2 runs come across, and Collinsville will head to their half of the second inning. And needing a couple more base runners. They trail by a score of 3-1. Back with the home half of the second in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all the accessories. Rich has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com. Once again, we welcome you back here to the Collinsville Sports Complex. Peyton Smith will lead things off here in the bottom half of the second for Collinsville. It'll be Smith and then Allie Vila, and then back to the top of the order in Faith Fairchild. Collinsville trails by a score of 3-1. As we begin the bottom part of the second inning, and Peyton Smith looks at one called strike, batting .063 so far on the year with 3 runs batted in, 1 hit, and that was a base hit, so I'm guessing that a couple of those RBIs came via the bases loaded walk. Next pitch, swinging a high pop fly right behind the press box here. I was waiting to see if it was going to land on top, but it did not. 0-2. Monroe ready with the pitch, and that one stays high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. First time these two teams met in the playoffs was in the 1992 season. Belleville East won that one 9-0. Belleville East has a perfect record over Collinsville in the playoffs. Lady Lancers are 8-0 versus Collinsville. Of course, they played each other last year in the playoffs as well. And Collinsville lost that game last year by a score of 15-0. That was played at Belleville West. We had that game for you on the Kahok Sports Network. 2-2 the count to Peyton Smith, working back from an 0-2 start. Next pitch by Monroe. Swinging a pop fly on the infield. Monroe calls for it and makes the catch in between the circle and the first baseline.
Next on the plate, designated player number 18.
Here is Allie Vila. Vila coming in on the year, batting 100. She's only had 10 at-bats this year. 1 base hit. She has scored 4 runs, though. And Allie bats with the bases empty and 1 out. Pitch. Swinging a foul ball. On the move is the first baseman, Malaya Brewer, but she runs out of room. As that ball ends up going into the stands over there where the Belleville East faithful have gathered. 0-1. Faith Fairchild, the leadoff batter for Collinsville, waits in the on-deck area. Pitched by Monroe. Scoring around a bunt, but taking it back was Vila. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Monroe rocks, brings it, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the designated player, Allie Vila. Vila, a junior this year. And the next pitch to her. Strike 3 called. Second out of the inning. Fourth strikeout, for Monroe. That's the first one that she's got looking, though. Back to the top of the order in Faith Fairchild. Singled and scored the lone lone Kahok run back in the first inning. I got Cardinal on the brain, opening day and all. Swinging a foul ball. That one is going to drop before the third baseman, Belani, could catch up to it. So Fairchild stays alive. 0-1 is the count to her, and Monroe ready with that 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1. You heard me mention in the pregame interview, maybe talking to Amy Flowers, man, you got to be on your A-plus game to beat the likes of Belleville West. They do not beat themselves. They're averaging just 1.3 errors per game, which in the game of softball is really good. 10 errors in their 8 games. They are either not keeping track of double plays or they haven't turned one yet because the double play category was 0. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Fairchild. Fairchild, one of 2 seniors on this year's team. The other one is Jazz Gomez, playing right field today. Foul ball. Fairchild just got a piece of that one. Monroe is ready with another 1-2. Here it is. That one's in the dirt. Bounced about a foot in front of home plate. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, no one on. Collinsville trailing by 2. Monroe ready with the 2-2 pitch, and here it is. Strike 3 called. Got Viloff and Fairchild looking at the plate, and that is the 5th strikeout of this game for Monroe. So Collinsville unable to do anything in the home half of the second. We will head to the top of the third, and the Lancers will come back up to the plate, and we will tell you all about that when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahawk games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahawk Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332.
We love to have you come work for the City of Collinsville. We have many positions available, from seasonal jobs to full-time opportunities in many of our departments. From police and fire to Gateway Center, Parks and Recreation, and City Hall. Our employees enjoy great benefits like comprehensive medical plans, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, and more. Visit the city's website, collinsvilleil.org, to apply and learn more about working for the City of Collinsville.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Stan Schaefer Field at the Collinsville Sports Complex. Cleanup hitter, shortstop Eddie Kromkowski leads things off. Kromkowski was hit by a pitch and was stranded at third in that first inning. Middle of the order to face Bordoni here. And the pitch on the way, and that one stays high. Softball teams have been very busy as of late, but after today's game, they are off until Tuesday when they go to Edwardsville to play the Lady Tigers. I will be at Belleville West that night bringing you Lady Kahawk soccer. "3-0 is the count to the shortstop, Kromkowski. That one's outside, so a 4-pitch walk.
Next up to the plate, number 21, designated player, Jalen Robinson.
So 3 walks and 3 strikeouts for Bordoni. Runner on at first base. And that'll bring up Jalen Robinson, the designated player who walked and was stranded at second in the first inning. And that one was in there for a called strike. I don't know why, but the clouds back behind center field are looking a little dark. We're not supposed to get any rain till the overnight period on this day. Big trash bag blowing around out there in left field. Umpire calls time, and Audrey Laudenstein has to go chase it down, and right when she got there, it blew even farther away from her. She's going to give it to Faith Fairchild, and Faith's just going to shove it in her back pocket. I have no idea why my screen's flashing like that. Another one of those quirks. I don't have any idea. 0-2 the count, though, to Jalen Robinson, the designated player today for Belleville East, and that one stays high, 1-2. Robinson is batting in place of the second baseman, Ella Murphy. And the next delivery on the way. That one's well outside, 2-2. Bordoni ready. On over at first base is Kromkowski swinging a shot down the third base side. Lowenstein sign is on the way, but that one bounces and goes under her glove. Kromkowski is going to score from first, and on her way to third base with an RBI triple is Jalen Robinson.
Next up, left fielder, number 23, Ashlyn Willis.
So the Lancers score another. They lead 4-1 here in the top of the third. Still no one out. That'll bring up Ashlyn Willis, the left fielder, who grounded out to Presley Thomas her first time up. And the first pitch, swinging a shot right over the Lancers dugout down the first base side. Those walks will kill you. And the next pitch, swing and a miss by Ashlyn Willis. Malaya Brewer waiting on deck. We're in the top of the third. Lancers tack on another one. They've scored in every inning thus far. Pitch by Bordoni, hits her. Second hit batter by Bordoni here in this contest. That'll put runners at the corners with no one out. And here is Malia Brewer, who grounded out in her only at bat so far. Went 1-6-3 off of Bordoni's glove and then right over to Faith Fairchild. And Fairchild threw over to Smith in time for the out. Double play would almost come in handy right now. Here's the pitch. She squares around to bunt, taking all the way, and the runner goes down to second to throw down to third off of the glove of Lily Parlberg, and that allows Robinson to score. That's going to be a error on Parlberg. First error of the game by Collinsville, and on the play, Willis goes all the way over to third base. Meeting in the circle. Well, I see my screen on my phone that I'm monitoring this game with this stop the little flashing thing, so that's good. But you can see the darker clouds out beyond center field. It doesn't look like much on my phone, but it looks a little darker here in person than it does on the phone. Got a cold front moving through tonight. That's why it's going to be 92 today and 52 tomorrow. But the rain portion of that cold front is not supposed to be through here until the early morning hours. Brewer still up at the plate after all this. Want to know the count to her. And Bordoni pitches and a swing and a pop fly. That one's going to drop in for a hit in front of Jazz Gomez. And that is going to score Willis from third base.
Next up, right fielder, number 33, Riley Oshab.
6 runs on 5 hits for Belleville East. And that brings up Riley Oshab, who walked and scored her first time up. Runner at first, still no one out. Bordoni pitches, bunt back here on top of the press box. That was that thud you heard. There is a net right over the windows here, so nothing can fly in the old open window. Got all the windows open up here we can. Breeze blowing through, 0-1 the count. To Oshab, here's the pitch from Bordoni. She squares around to bunt, does Oshab, pulls it back, takes the ball, ball 1. Brewer on over at first base, has 1 stolen base coming into this game. Pitch by Bordoni, and that one's inside. Peyton Smith sneaking in from first base. She has one of the biggest first base mitts I've ever seen. Looks like a fishing net. Bordoni brings home the next. Right on the inside corner. That'll even things out at 2-2. Six to 1 in favor of Belleville East. And there is no one out, so they're still threatening here. And the pitch by Bordoni, swing and a miss, and down on strikes. Oh, there was a throw over to first base off of Smith's glove, but Gomez wisely was backing up the play. So one away, fourth strikeout for Bordoni. And Amy Kohler, the number 9 batter here for Belleville East, will get a chance to bat. She singled and scored in the 2-run second inning. What are they doing? Oh. Lily Beckhold will come in and pinch hit. And bunts right in front of home plate. Bordoni picks it up, throws in time for the out, and then a throw over to third base, and safe at third base on the return throw. Ooh, boy, that was close.
Next up for Lancers, pitcher number 1, Abby Monroe.
So you got the second out, but the player at first base goes all the way over to third. And back to the top of the order in Abby Monroe. And the pitch by Bordoni is out. Ooh, I thought it was outside. Hits the corner, called strike one. Monroe has singled twice, scored a run. And on that single in the second inning, she knocked in the 2 runs that Belleville East scored in the top of the second. Three runs are already scored here in this inning, and the pitch is outside. 2-1 the count. Runner at third base is Brewer. Behind her, 2 outs, a strikeout and a ground out. Pitch by Bordoni, swinging a high fly ball. On the move is Jazz Gomez. She's not going to get there, off the base of the fence. Scoring with no problem is Brewer. On her way to third is going to be Monroe. She's coming all the way around for an inside the park home run.
Next up to the plate, third baseman number 24, Sabrina Maloney.
Eight runs now across for Belleville East. And here is Sabrina Bologna, who is 0 for 2. Ground out, strikeout with that one's down the third base line. That might be a double. Lowenstein has a hard time picking it up. Finally does, throws it in, and out at second base is going to be Bologna. That play will go 7-4 for out number 3. The base hit will count, but that is all she wrote. And the only batter that didn't get to bat was Zoe Peters. She was on deck, so she'll have to wait. But Collinsville in a little bit of trouble here as we head now to the bottom half of the third inning, with Belleville East up by a score of 8-1. Back with Collinsville's next at bat after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Presley Thomas will lead things off here in the home half of the third inning. Collinsville trailing by 7. Swing and a miss by Thomas, who reached base her first time up but was stranded at third. Reached on a walk. And a swing and a miss. Oh, 2 the count to Thomas. Next pitch by Monroe. A little tap back by her and off of her glove. Shortstop comes up with it, but its throw is not going to be in time. And that'll count as an infield hit.
The catcher, number 10, McKenna Trice.
And that'll bring up McKenna Trice. So Collinsville with the leadoff batter on for the second time in their 3 innings of work. They went down in order in the second. Trice reached on an error and was stranded at second. She reaches for one, pops it up on the infield. Ella Murphy is underneath it at second base and has it for out number 1.
Next up, third baseman, number 30.
That'll bring up Lily Parlberg. The third baseman went down on a strikeout in her only at bat. That was in the first inning when Monroe struck out the side. Parlberg looks at the first one on the outside corner for a called strike. Oh, 1 to Lily Parlberg. Third baseman for your Lady Kahok softball team. That one's well outside, and staying put over at first base was Presley Thomas. Thomas has 2 stolen bases. She's been caught once. Monroe ready with the 1-1 to Parlberg. Here it is. Ooh, on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. 1 out in the inning. A runner on over at first. Bordoni waits on deck. Parlberg trying to bring Trice around with a base hit. Here's the 1-2, and that one's on the outside, but not on the corner this time. That'll even the count at 2-2. Next offering from Monroe. Swinging a shot to the third baseman, but up with it is Baloney over to first, over to second for 1 out, but they could not turn the double play.
Next up, pitcher,
So the play goes 5-4 for the second out. Parlberg will reach on the fielder's choice. And here is Aubrey Bordoni, who was one of those 3 strikeout victims in the first inning for Abby Monroe. Monroe ready to deliver. Here's the first one to Bordoni, and it's up high. Ball 1. Snap throw over to first base. Parlberg was back in there safely. Monroe ready with the next. Swing and a miss by Bordoni. Bordoni digs back in from the right side. 1-1, and that one is outside, hits the corner. Bordoni gives a look to the umpire. Didn't say anything, but just gave that look. Like, really? That was a little bit outside. I saw that from up here. I'm a little bit off, though. To the right, and a stolen base by Parlberg. Becomes Collinsville's first stolen base of the day. And a 2-2 count to Bordoni. Here's the next. Swing and a miss. Outside offering. When the umpire calls those on the outside part of the plate, man, you got to protect. And Bordoni did just that and goes down for the second time via the strikeout. So Collinsville, nothing doing for the Lady Kahawks. In the bottom of the third, we move now to the top of the fourth inning, and it remains 8-1 in favor of Belleville East.
Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Ripon Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Ripon Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Ripon Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Ripon Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@riponrookies.com. Ripon Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ripon Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination.
Welcome back here to Stan Schaefer Field. My name is Todd Duke. Glad that you are with us. Flying a little solo today. Chris Keller and Zach Roseman pulling soccer duty tonight over at Kahok Stadium. Zoe Peters was the only one that didn't get a chance to bat in the third inning, so she will lead things off here in the fourth and looks at one outside. Peters has been victimized by 2 of the 4 strikeouts by Bordoni here this afternoon. So 0 for 2 for the Lady Lancers catcher. Bordoni ready. Pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Well, called it both ways. At least he's consistent. 1-1. Bordoni ready with a 1-1. Here it comes. Up high, 2-1. Next pitch, swinging a high fly ball. Gomez on the run and dropped it. Had it in her glove, but then while the legs kept moving, the ball was bouncing and she never could hold on to it. And it looks like Peters might be hurt down at first base. I think she ran into the bag weird. Well, that's going to be an error on Gomez. We hope Peters is okay. She's feeling it over there, that's for sure. So while they tend to her, we will go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network. Looking for something to get your student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahok Trap on Facebook. 618-795-9893. Mike and Sarah's Produce in Collinsville is a one-stop destination for seasonal fruits, vegetables, and more. Located at 116 North Bluff Road, Mike and Sarah's Produce features fresh selections of your favorite fruits and veggies, from cherries, peaches, and watermelons to corn, tomatoes, and zucchini. You can find all of your produce needs at Mike and Sarah's. Seasonal favorites such as pumpkins in the fall, summer peaches, spring asparagus, and more. Plus, Mike and Sarah's Produce is a go-to in the spring for flowered plants, hanging baskets, and a large selection of fresh seafood. Mike and Sarah's Produce, 116 North Bluff Road in Collinsville. Stop by today. All right, welcome back here to the sports complex. I'm going to have to go away from the screen for a minute. I totally forgot that the new camera installed over at Kahok Stadium I forgot to put that into the laptop that Zach uses. So I'm going to have to, actually, I won't write the screen away. I just have to write down this information and then give it to Zach. All right, so you're going to have to forgive me. I'm going to have to text Zach this RTMP number to put in. Base hit down the line. And both runners are right on top of each other. And both runners are going to come in and score. And that's going to be another inside the park home run by Belleville East. And that makes it 10 to nothing, or 10 to 1, excuse me. Don't autocorrect on me. Thank you. We have a timeout. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change, so let me get out of this for a second and play some commercials, and while I'm doing that, maybe I can finish texting what I need to text. Back in a
Your
moment.
home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
All right, I'm doing too many things at once here. I'm almost finished dealing with this thing that I needed to do for Zach and totally forgot about. 10 to 1. There is nobody out. Peyton Smith comes in to pitch. I'm almost finished here, folks. RTMP, 10.1.6.211 live tactical. Okay. Okay, still want to check out one more thing here. Popped up on the infield. Peyton Smith has it for out number 1.
Next up, left fielder number 23, Ashlyn Willis.
And that'll bring up Ashlyn Willis. 1 away. Runner is not on at first anymore. Let me get rid of that. One more thing I got to do here.
Next up for the Lancers, first baseman number 13, Malia Brewer.
Hit by pitch. Bordoni hit 2 while she was in there. All right. Hopefully I sent everything I needed to over here to Zach so he can get onto the huddle camera over there at the stadium. Knew there was one thing I was forgetting to do, man. Swinging a pop fly on the infield again and at first base. Nice job there by Parlberg, who has come in to take over for Smith.
Riley Oshab.
There is Riley Oshab. Back to the mound, or the circle, and a throw in time over to first base to get Oshab. Excuse me, play goes 1-3, and the inning comes to a close, but not before 2 more runs come across for Belleville East, and now the Lady Lancers lead by a score of 10-1, and we will head to the bottom half of the 4th inning and tell you all about Collinsville's next at bat when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420.
All right, we are back, and because Zoe Peters had to leave injured, they took Sabrina Bolani over at third base and put her behind the plate, and newly inserted is Priya Bowling over at third base. And here is Ava Muniz to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th for Collinsville, swinging a shot down the first base line, but unfortunately that's going to go foul. Belleville East has scored in every inning so far. 10-1 is our score. Collinsville got a run in the first. And that's been it. Pitch by Monroe, swinging another shot foul down the first base side, but that one was on a fly and over the bleachers holding the Lancers fans. Munoz, Lowenstein, and Peyton Smith due up here in this bottom of the 4th. And swing and a ball in the dirt. Popped out of the catcher's glove, but Munoz already committed.
Number 32, Audrey Lowenstein.
And here is Audrey Lowenstein. 6th strikeout on the afternoon for Monroe. Lowenstein has been victimized by one of those in her only at bat. She stands in from the left side. Collinsville back-to-back lefties here with Muniz and Lowenstein. Love the lefties. I'm a lefty myself. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swinging a chance for the second baseman. Murphy comes up with it, throws in time for out number 2.
Next up, pitcher number 25, Peyton Smith.
Peyton Smith will come up with 2 away, no one on. Smith popped up to the pitcher Monroe and her only at bat. Inside and high, ball 1. Well, I think and Zach just texted me back saying that code that I put in worked, so he's got his camera back just in time. They were probably about 8 minutes away from playing soccer over at the high school, and now we're all set. Didn't even dawn on me to enter that stuff in the computer that Zach uses. Probably texted me about 20 minutes ago telling me about it, and I just saw it when I was talking to you all about it. Monroe to Smith. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball. This one into foul territory and back up in foul territory. The newly inserted Ira Bowling, and she hauls it in for the out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Collinsville at the plate. And that will take us to the top of the 5th inning. And Belleville East in control right now. See, every time I hit change sides, it goes back to the top of the 4th. Love modern day technology. Back with the top of the 5th after we take a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all local area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with Tim Carlisle, Jim Cason, Logan Carlisle, and Caleb Tanzius play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event, or call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. That's 618-401-0052. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahok Sports Network, as well as the Kahok Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC. Lily Bechtold will lead things off here in the top of the 5th for Belleville East. Bechtold came in for the center fielder Amy Kohler after Amy got to bat once. She singled and scored in her only at bat, but Bechtold came in the 3rd inning and grounded back to the pitcher, who at the time was Bordoni. Now it's Smith. And there's a chance at shortstop for Faith Fairchild. Up and OUT for out number 1. Bordoni did not stay in the game, so she's out.
Next up, the Lancers pitcher, number 1, Abby Monroe.
6-3 on the putout. And back to the top of the order on Abby Monroe. Monroe has 3 hits, 2 singles, and an inside the park home run. Has knocked in 2 runs and has scored 2 runs herself. Paige Smith tells Jazz Gomez, back up. Lefty Monroe stands in, and the first pitch from Smith is a floater that stays high. See, I got on my phone just to see what the Cardinals were up to, and I saw that text message. I'm like, oh, okay. That ball is out of play and back behind the stands where the Kahok faithful have gathered. This is our last game of the week. Nothing tomorrow. We're back at you Tuesday. Lady Kahok soccer at Belleville West. And that one stays inside. Supposed to have the baseball game at Granite City on April the 1st, but there is rain in the forecast, and the brand new facilities over at Granite City, they didn't build a press box. So the only place I can be is outside, and if there's even a hint of rain, I cannot do that game. And then after that, I'll be back here 1 week from today. Lady Kahok softball team taking on Alton. So that's the plan for next week as Easter break begins. We got to go to school Monday and Tuesday next week. And then we are off for 6 straight days. 3-2 the count to Abby Monroe. Smith rocks back and forth, throws, and a grounder to Presley Thomas at second base, and that's the first time that we've gotten Monroe out here this afternoon. Back-to-back ground outs. 2 away. As I got to get back to my scoreboard duties here. And here is Sabrina Bolani, who started off the game playing third base, but after Zoe Peters was hurt, she is now the catcher. And Bolani has singled and then was thrown out on a 7-4 put out by Audrey Lauenstein to Presley Thomas. Other than that, a pop-up and a strikeout. Next pitch, swinging another pop fly. This one's going out to straightaway center field. Ava Munoz is underneath it, and a 1-2-3 inning for Belleville East. Collinsville, the first time they have done the 1-2-3 outs against Belleville East here today. And that will take us to the home half of the 5th inning, and Collinsville trailing by 9 runs. They need a lot of base runners to have a chance. We'll see if they can do anything about that when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. Save On Liquor and Wine in Collinsville is much more than what's in their name. Of course, Save On Liquor and Wine has liquor and wine, from brand names to specialty brands. Plus, they have gas, cigars, fountain drinks, coffee, craft beers, and other sundries and snacks. Plus, everything Save On Liquor and Wine has to offer comes served by a friendly, attentive, helpful, and polite staff that will go out of their way to serve you that special something for every taste. Make sure you check out Save On Liquor and Wine's new location at 6100 Center Grove Road in Edwardsville. Save On Liquor and Wine in Collinsville, 809 St. Louis Road, or call 618-344-1638. Save On Liquor and Wine, something for every taste. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahok Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joe Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Allie Vilef leads things off here in the home half of the 5th for Collinsville against Abby Monroe. Swing and a miss after the first bunt attempt missed as well, so now it's 0-2. Vilef got caught looking at a called third strike on her only at bat back in the 2nd inning. It'll be Vilef back to the top of the order, Faith Fairchild and Presley Thomas. Here's the pitch to Vilef outside. Vilef was the designated player, but now she's in playing third base. And the pitch Swing and a miss. The ball outside and low. Second time today that Viliff is down via the strikeout, but this time she swings through one. 7th strikeout of the day for Abby Monroe. Back to the top of the order, Faith Fairchild, who has a single and has scored the only run here for Collinsville. And she struck out looking herself in the second inning. Monroe ready to go, and Fairchild bunts it into the air and a sliding stop. She said, umpire says it was on the ground, and Bowling is arguing, but she's not going to win that argument, so that is going to be an infield hit for Faith Fairchild.
Next up, second baseman number 5.
4th hit on the afternoon for Collinsville, and here comes Presley Thomas. See if Collinsville can get a little something going on here. Thomas has reached base both times on a walk and a single. When she was walked in the first, she was left at third. And then she singled and was thrown out 5-4 on a fielder's choice by Parlberg. We'll see if Fairchild wants to do some running here. 3 stolen bases, once caught this year for Fairchild. Swing and a miss by Thomas. And Presley is in an 0-2 hole. McKenna Trice waits on deck. Shin pads on, though, just in case. There's a swing and a foul ball off the backstop here. Count will remain at 0-2. Monroe ready with the next. Swinging a shot to center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. And in safely at second base is Faith Fairchild. Nice play out there by Amy Kohler. Had the wherewithal to throw it into second. Back-to-back base hits. Puts runners on first and second for Collinsville. And here is McKenna Trice. McKenna has reached on an error and popped up on the infield here this afternoon. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch by Monroe. Strike on the outside corner. Parlberg waits on deck. 1 away. Monroe brings the next offering home, swinging another little fly ball out to center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Everybody's going to be safe. Here comes Fairchild around trying to score, and she is a dead duck at home plate.
Next up, first baseman number 35, Lily Paulberg.
So Collinsville has strung together 3 straight base hits, but Fairchild got a little greedy. Here is Parlberg, runners on first and second, this time with 2 away. Parlberg looks at one outside. Lily on the afternoon has a strikeout, reached on that fielder's choice I told you about, stole second base, and then was stranded there. Bordoni is in the on-deck circle, if you will. She stays in the game as the designated player now, not playing any position. 0-1 the count to Parlberg. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Bottom of the 5th inning. Runners on first and second. And Parlberg looks at one that was probably just a little too high. Other than that, it was right down the middle. So 2-2 the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Deuces are wild. Swing, high fly ball. On the move is Kramkowski, and she reaches out right when she stepped into the outfield grass and pulls that one in. That was probably a lot tougher play than what anybody would think it was, but that ends the inning. Collinsville will strand a couple of more. They have left 6 base runners on base today and get nothing out of a first and second nobody out situation. We will now head to the top of the 6th inning, and the score remains 10-1 in favor of Belleville East. We're back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network. All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville is your go-to place to get that pampered treatment for your fur baby. All Fluffed Up offers one-on-one grooming sessions by skilled and professional groomers, focusing on a stress-free and fear-free experience for both pup and pup parent. Owned and operated by former Kahok Jenny Eves, All Fluffed Up in Caseyville offers nail trimming, ear cleanings, bathing, and fur trimming, as well as full cuts. All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville, 16 East Reynolds Street. Call Jenny Eves for an appointment at 618-855-8533. Mobile grooming coming soon. That's All Fluffed Up in Caseyville, 618-855-8533. Looking for some unique food options, super cold drinks, and a fun atmosphere with an attentive staff? Look no further than Hurricanes Bar and Grill in Collinsville. Owned and operated by former Kahok State soccer champ Tim Johnson, Hurricanes has been one of the area's great meeting places for fun, food, live sports and music, and video gaming. Daily specials like Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, and Fish Fridays. Hurricanes will tackle those hunger pains. Hurricanes is always open during all of Uptown Collinsville's Main Street festivals. Hurricanes is the place to satisfy your hunger and thirst needs. Hurricanes Bar and Grill, 222 West Main Street in Collinsville. Give them a call for carryout orders at 618-345-0846. 618-345-0846. Once again, we welcome you back here to Stan Schaefer Field at the Collinsville Sports Complex. My name is Todd Duke. Glad that you are with me here this afternoon. Top of the sixth, 10-1 in favor of Belleville East. And the first pitch into Bowling. Misses the strike zone. Bowling comes in batting 100. 1 RBI on 1 hit. Inside. Ball 2. 1 hit in 10 at bats. So go ahead and pitch to her, man. Let her try to hit something. 2-0 the count. Pitch on the way. Swinging a high fly ball on the move. Lauenstein, she got tripped up a little bit, went over her head, goes all the way to the wall. Bowling is on her way to second with a stand-up double. Lauenstein got a little tripped up, got twisted up, went left, then right. By the time she figured out which way to go, it was back, not left or right. So a runner on at second base. Nobody down. And here is Eddie Kromkowski. And a pitch hits her in the back. Fourth hit batter of the day by Collinsville pitching. Bordoni had 2, and now Smith has 2.
Next up, number 21, Jalen Robinson.
Well, the only thing that does is sets up a double play. And here is Jalen Robinson. Robinson has walked, tripled home runs, scored a run, and popped up. So officially 1 for 2. Strike on the outside corner. It feels a little bit more humid now than it did earlier. There's not a lot of the breeze is kind of tempered back a little bit. That one's up high. Nobody down. Runners on first and second for the lefty, Jalen Robinson. And the pitch by Smith on the way. Swinging a shot right into the glove of Presley Thomas over to first for 1, but that's all they're going to get. Runners will move up a bag, so.
Next up, left fielder, number 23, Ashlyn Williams.
1 out. Runners on second and third. And here is Ashlyn Willis. Willis has grounded out, popped up, and was hit by a pitch and came around to score on that triple by Robinson in that 5-run third inning, swinging a high fly ball. This one's going out to Audrey Lauenstein. This time she's underneath it and has it. Tag up at third, and the player is going to score to make it 11-1. So we will call that a sacrifice RBI.
Next up, first baseman number 13, Malaya Brewer.
Staying at second base is Kramkowski. And here is Malaya Brewer. Brewer has grounded out, singled and scored in her 2 at-bats. And a ball that bounces in front of home plate. That allows Kramkowski to go over to third. First wild pitch by Smith. And Smith ready to go with the next. Outside. Ball 2. Two away. Runner now at third. 2-1, the count to Brewer. Smith ready with the next delivery. That one's in the dirt, 3-1. We used to have a Brewer on this Lady Kahok softball team back in the day, Carrie Brewer, back when Brett Swip was the head coach. Saw Carrie not too long ago. Smith ready with a 3-1, swinging a shot right in between third and shortstop, and that is going to score Kramkowski. And that makes it 12-1
Number 33, right fielder.
in favor of Belleville East. And here is Riley Oshab, the right fielder. Two more hits in the inning has given Belleville East 10 hits on the day to go along with their 12 runs. And a swing and a chance for Fairchild over at shortstop and up over and OUT to end the inning. But in the inning, 2 more runs do come across the plate. That makes it 12-1, so Collinsville has got to score at least 2 runs in the bottom half of the 6th to keep this game going to the 7th inning. And we will tell you all about that when we come back with the bottom of the 6th inning after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com. Diamonds for Kahawks is a facility improvement project to develop a baseball, softball, and football/soccer field for CHS students and our communities to utilize. The project includes 2 baseball fields, 2 softball fields, a soccer/football field, concession stand, bathrooms, and parking. The development of this facility will benefit the band, PE classes, baseball team, softball team, and soccer team with a centralized location, ease of access, and an eye-catching complex. Please contact A.D. Clay Smith to donate to this project or visit the Collinsville Area Community Foundation website to make your tax-deductible donation today.
Aubrey Bordoni will lead things off against a new pitcher, Alexis Sargenson, who I heard before this game started is the niece of Collinsville Lady Kahok basketball coach Colin Moore. Sargenson comes in, and she is competing in her 5th game. She has made 3 starts this year. Has a complete game under her belt. She's 3-1 with a 3.78 earned run average and has 4 walks to go along with 4 strikeouts. Bordoni up at the plate, looking to shake out of an 0-for-2 bump when she's struck out both times today. Right now she's up there with a count in her favor, 2-1. Here's the pitch by Sargenson. Stays high. 3-1. And the next delivery to Bordoni inside, walked her.
Next up, center fielder number 12, Ava Muniz.
Monroe only walked one while she was in there, had 7 strikeouts. And the first thing Sargentson does is comes in and walks the first batter she faces. That'll bring up Ava Muniz, who has a single and an RBI, and was a strikeout victim as well. And the first pitch to Ava is outside, ball 1. Muniz. Oh, takes one. Pop fly, and that is going to be into the netting right in front of us. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Muniz, and then Lowenstein. And that one floats and misses. Back-to-back lefties coming up here for Collinsville. Bordoni over at first base does have 1 stolen base so far this year. And the delivery is outside, ball 2, or ball 3, excuse me. So Sargensen's coming on a little all over the place out there in the circle. And the 3-1 pitch. Outside again, back-to-back walks. Those are the 2 runs that Collinsville needs to score to keep this game going into the 7th inning. And here is Audrey Lowenstein. Audrey has struck out and grounded out here this afternoon, so 0 for 2. Everybody on the infield want to meet in the circle and talk about things. Bordoni at second, Muniz at first. Her older sister, Addie, already underway on the soccer team at Kahok Stadium. Lady Kahawks off to a 2-0 start. Clean sheets on both of their matches, 8-0 and 5-0. We'll see if they can keep that going against Alton tonight. Scoring her on to bunt was Lowenstein, had a sacrifice bunt in last night's game to get Trice into scoring position. And then Bordoni sent her home with a walk-off triple. 7-6 win over Litchfield. Lowenstein squaring around to bunt again. Misses it. 0-2 now. Sargentson looks in and delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Lowenstein swung that one just a little too early on that pitch.
Next up, pitcher number 25, Peyton Smith.
Here's Peyton Smith. Started the day at first base, came in to take over in the circle for Bordoni. Has popped up twice, once to the pitcher and once to the third baseman in foul territory. Allie Vielef waits on deck. Pitch, high and outside. Sargenson's a bit off since she's been brought in. Next delivery on the way. That one's inside. As I mentioned, kind of all over the place. Two 2-0 the count. 1 away. Runners on first and second for Collinsville. Those 2 runners out there need to score. Collinsville wants to take this game to the 7th inning, and that one is over the head of Smith. She had to bend down to get out of the way. 3-0 now the count. Sargentson ready to go. Needs to plant one down the middle, and that's exactly what she does. Alexis Sargentson with the 3-1. Strike 2 on the inside corner, so after the first 3 missed, she's come back and found a place for the next 2. Smith needs to be very aware here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and she swung at a ball. Fouled it off, though, so she does stay alive. Another 3-2 pitch from Sargentson to Smith on the way right now. Swing and a high pop fly. On the move is the left fielder, Willis, and she hauls it in for out number 2, and then out number 3. Tag out over at third base, and that is the way that this game is going to come to an end. 7-5 on the putout to end the game, and Belleville East will win this one here this afternoon by a score of 12-1. Time for us to move on to the post-game show, brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the road, the Beltline Road, that is, in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. Online at allprotees.com. Right across the street from Kahawk Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200. The choices you make to celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for veterans in need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics. Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. The Collinsville Daily News, the new online source for everything newsworthy in and around Collinsville. This news source is designed to be the heartbeat of the Collinsville community and is owned and operated by members that live in this area. The Collinsville Daily News generates their revenue with local support from the community in which they serve and from advertising. They do not charge to read their content, so you'll never run into one of those annoying paywalls. Not only that, but the Collinsville Daily News offers free classified advertising. You have items you want to buy, sell, or trade? It's free to post. Wedding or engagements announcements, as well as obituaries, all free at collinsvilledailynews.com. Plus, they have the content that matters most. Collinsville news you need to know, coverage of Kahawk sports, and a keen eye on city news. The Collinsville Daily News also has an event tab that allows you to find out what is going on in and around the region for you and your family, the heartbeat of the community. Helping readers make sense of an increasingly chaotic world. Check them out at collinsvilledailynews.com, on social media sites Facebook and Instagram. The heartbeat of this community is the Collinsville Daily News.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an InvisiRed lipolaser machine. The InvisiRed machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The InvisiRed technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that InvisiRed offers.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Stan Schaefer Field. Collinsville drops their Southwestern Conference opener here today. 12-1 to the Belleville East Lady Lancers. Joining us now, Brandon Henson, the assistant, one of the assistants for Amy Flowers. Haven't seen you in a while, man. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. All right, so I was talking to Coach Flowers in the pregame interview, and I said, you know, when you play a team like Belleville East, you pretty much have to be spot on. You cannot make any mistakes. You guys kept the mistakes to the minimum, but like I said, Belleville East does not make themselves lose games. The other team will do that for them, and they almost did everything right here today. They can hit, they can run, they can field, so I know that it's not a consolation when you lose, but, I mean, give me your thoughts on the game.
That's almost exactly what I told the girls. I said that's, you know, they're kind of the standard in the conference, historically especially, and they make you play perfect softball to beat them, and if they see one tiny opening, they're going to take it, and we saw that early on where they kind of got a couple runs on some things where we weren't kind of fully locked in, and then once they smell blood, they're like a shark. You know, they're a shark, and they're going to get everything they can, and I'm proud of the kids, actually. I mean, honestly, there's 5 or 6 freshmen out there at any given time, so for them to hang in there and make it as competitive for as long as they did, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Bordoni struggled out there in the circle just a little bit. It looked a little un-Bordoni-like to me from what I've seen from her so far this year.
Yeah, she was getting a little frustrated, thought she was getting squeezed a little bit on some strikes, and when stuff kind of started to get out of hand and a couple balls got by some outfielders that normally don't, she kind of got a little frustrated, but once she came out of the game, she was a good teammate cheering on Peyton pitching, and Peyton came in and cleaned it up pretty well, and Aubrey had a good last at bat, so I was proud of her how she rebounded after.
Yeah. You guys put together a nice number of hits to come back and give CM a pretty good game. You did a nice number at the plate yesterday coming back and winning that game against Litchfield, but I mean, you got 5 hits, but they were so scattered that you couldn't really build off anything.
Yeah, their pitcher was pretty solid today. She throws pretty hard, and that was kind of one of the things coming into the season. I had these kids last year at the middle school, these freshmen, and I knew they could field, but I mean, going from 14U to essentially 18U pitching was going to be a big jump, and we kind of had a rough, 3-4 game stretch hitting there, only scoring like 1 run a game. We only got 1 today, but a lot less strikeouts today, a lot more putting the ball in play today, making them play defense. And we saw in the first inning, you make teams play defense, and they'll give you stuff every once in a while too. So I think that'll keep trending in the right direction and start scoring some more runs here shortly.
Yeah, and we saw, Belleville East is one of the cream of the crop teams in the Southwestern Conference. Your next game, they're no slouches either, man. You guys got to go to Edwardsville and play on Tuesday, and that's the same kind of scenario there, man. They don't beat themselves, and you cannot give them any wiggle room.
Yeah, same thing. We're going to talk about that tomorrow and practice, and we'll talk about it some more on Monday. Just some, tighten up some execution. But like I said, with a young team, there's, 1 or 2 seniors out there and not a ton of varsity softball experience. But a lot of them have risen to the occasion and done some things that we didn't think they'd be able to do this early, and we're proud of them, and I think we'll keep trending that way.
Yeah, well, you know what? We didn't get knocked off the air in the late game this time. We got knocked
go.
off early,
There we go.
and ever since then we've been good to go. So we finally got you up here.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
I needed
visit,
to
man.
do my interview,
Yeah, no, I got you, man. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks.
All right, that is Brandon Henson, one of the assistants here for Coach Amy Flowers, and that is going to do it for us. Final score again, Belleville East 12 runs on 10 hits. They committed 1 error and left 4 base runners on. Collinsville 1 run on 5 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 7 base runners on base. So that's going to do it for us. We're back with you on Tuesday. It's a road game. The Lady Kahok soccer team will head to Belleville West and take on the Lady Maroons, and we'll be there on the air after the JV game starts. And JV scheduled for 5 o'clock, varsity scheduled for 6:30, so we'll be on the air probably around 6:15 or so. And these soccer games usually never start on the scheduled time, obviously except for the JV game because there's not a game before them. But we'll be on the air at some point. So big thank you to Amy Flowers joining me in the pregame show. Another big thank you to Brandon Henson joining me in the postgame show. My name is Todd Duke, and since I won't see you till Tuesday, everyone, have yourselves a fantastic weekend.